Hey guys, Jimmy here and welcome back to another karting video, the first Club 100 race of the year. Well, kind of. This was a pre-season test at Butmore Park. 30 karts taking part in two 1-hour endurance races, and this is going to be footage from the first one because I have no footage from the second. The reason being is that this day for us was really just a day of testing the camera and testing our pit stops and getting ready for the season coming up. So whilst there is a little bit of footage, like the stuff you're seeing now on the camera footage you're going to see very soon, there isn't really a kind of sleek video as you're probably used to. So you're seeing now Steve's adjusting the camera. That is where the only place a camera is allowed to be on the kart. You can't have a helmet cam, you can't have a shoulder cam, nothing like that at all. So we're just trying to get used to that at this point. So we're going to hop forward now to during race 1. Now, the first endurance race, Steve started the kart and he did 35 minutes of the first race and I was going to do the last 25. Here I am in the pit lane now. And the big reason for us wanting to practice is because you're seeing in my hand there, I'm holding quite a bit of ballast. I actually lost a bit of weight over Christmas. I did the opposite. I now need 6 kilograms of ballast as opposed to 2 onto the kart. And we have to do that, change camera, change the pedals, and we're also simulating a fuel stop as well, as we would do, of course, in the real race coming up this season. We did pretty well. I think we managed to do everything under the time for a fuel stop. So it all went fairly well. So at this point of the race, Steve came in the pits and we were actually leading overall, which is insane because of course Steve is a weapon. So I was fully expectant, as you probably see by one of my posts on Twitter regarding this, I was fully expectant to just fall down the field and, you know, end up way outside the top 15 or so. But yeah, as you've probably seen from the title, that wasn't quite the case. So first lap out the pits, and as you can see, it is very slippy out there. There is a dry line, and trying to find it on my first time out was a little bit scary. You saw me at the top of the corner there, and again through T1, just sliding a little bit, trying to find where the line is. But that is the big thing when you're doing a driver swap, is to try and get up to speed as quickly as possible. This is my first time driving the track in this particular condition. It was evolving throughout the entire day, from being pretty much slick with water to getting faster as the day went on. And for me, at this point, it was about just being as consistent and as quick as possible and trying to lose as little time as possible to those guys behind who were probably charging through the field. So you see now, we're going to jump forward a little bit in a second, just to a couple of laps later on. You can see there's traffic in front there, and here I am now starting to catch it. And this is the first person I caught who was struggling a little bit coming through the bottom here. And just you see here, just catches the wet line on the outside, and the car gets all sorts of sideways. And I think, well, okay, got to dispatch this guy quickly and just get on with it, because at this point for me, as I said, it's about just getting through any karts as quick as I can, because any time behind another car is just time lost unless they're, you know, very similar speed to you. So I was just looking ahead all the time, seeing where I was on the track and seeing how I could make up places as quick as I could. Now again, coming down the bottom half of the course here, you can see just how dry it was down the bottom. The Butmore is definitely a circuit of two halves. The top half of the track is a lot wetter than the bottom half, so this was pretty quick down here, just getting a switch back there and a guy catching the wet stuff on the inside. It was really annoying when you did that, because the car would just basically fall off to the outside of the track and you'd end up just making a bit of an arse of yourself. So coming through T1 now, you can see where the dry line is. It's kind of in the centre. It was starting to move towards the inside there, but you heard the revs just rise as I ran over the wet part of the circuit there. So it definitely wasn't completely dry up through the top half. But here through the second chicane, the second hairpin, sorry, I found that I was getting a lot quicker and a lot more consistent on exit than I had been before. So again, jumping forward about a lap and starting to catch these guys, and just thinking, where can I get through here? Where is the best place to get through? And you see, just getting a little bit of a slide on the way in. The way you drive these karts, I've found, is by having a little bit of slide a lot of the time and just getting the kart rotated nice and easy while keeping the revs and momentum up, of course. It's single gear, so keeping momentum and keeping revs is just, that is the aim of the game, otherwise you just lose lap time. So coming down the bottom here, I figured to try and have a look up the inside here. Just grabbed enough of the dry line to get the kart stuck there and got through past this fella. Now we come up to the back of Lindley in the Monster Energy kind of helmet and suit. Yeah, I quite like it actually. And something that I spoke to him after the race, because we had a couple of little bits of contact coming up. But he said he actually had a slow puncture throughout the race. I think it's on the right rear. You'll see it when we come into the second hairpin here, how his kart reacts to that. I was getting a bit impatient there through T1 and just hit the wet stuff and got a bit sideways. But watch his kart now as he turns in. You see the front end just starts lifting up and he just can barely get the kart turned in. I think, well, okay, here's my chance to get by. Look up the inside here through the fast chicane, actually tag him on the way, and he doesn't see me, and he turns in as I would as well. And And you can see he wasn't quite happy with that, which is why I spoke to him after the race to say, sorry mate, didn't mean to scare you. Again, here we are, great view here from this new Caravan, just how close you get when you're racing. Great sense of speed too, coming down to T1 again. You can see that dry line there, it's right on the centre, and just coming to the apex there to try and get past this back marker, I just hit that wet stuff again. I had a bit of a slide and exit, which just slows you down just a tiny bit, but momentum, as we said, is completely everything. Now, again, coming down the bottom section of the course, and just so close to Lindley, but he was doing a fantastic job of driving this car with the issues he had, and I thought I'd try and send it up the inside again, and I just got on the wet stuff, and again, a bit of contact, I let him back through, I didn't want to do a bump pass there. That actually let this guy back through, who then promptly hit the wet stuff, went wide. Lindley did the same thing, got on the wet stuff on the exit there, and off he went, and finally I was past and able to start getting back up to speed again. I lost about maybe half a second a lap behind him, but it's so difficult to pass around here, for me anyway. It's something that I really need to work on. That's my biggest weakness, is getting past people safely, cleanly and quickly. I'm a bit clumsy right now, and see Lindley tries to come back through. I didn't actually see him turning in. So it was lucky that he went flying wide, but luckily got the switch back there, and then we just continued on our way like nothing had ever happened. Very nice. So we're going to jump forward a bit in a minute, I think, looking at my timeline. No, we're still going down for now. So here we are, jumping forward. Well on, Jimmy. And again, more back markers to try and get by. So I'm not really sure where I am on track right now. I've kind of just assumed that after the pit stop we're kind of down in 8th or 9th position, and not really sure where we are, because the race we had was split into class and into overall position, and she's there trying to just muscle my way by this guy in the white helmet. Actually clipped the white bollard, if you go back and check that, which slowed me down. And again, trying to overtake into T1, so tricky. There's just one line through there, you try and get on the inside, the car just slides wide. I just about managed to stick my nose on the inside. You had the better run out the corner though, but I had the line, so I just thought, okay, this is mine now. Took the place, drove it to the exit, made sure I was passed, and then that was just, you have to really be aggressive to get by in these races. No one's going to let you by, and you have to make sure you're doing it properly, otherwise you're going to just lose time every lap. Something that I've learned the hard way, of course, as time has gone on. But as I was saying, the race very much has been chopped into two different classes, C1 and C2. We're racing in C2, and you can see down the bottom here just how my confidence has grown over the race, especially at this top corner. The amount of time I'm able to pull back on these guys in front, it was very nice inside the helmet. I had a big smile my entire stint because everything just felt good. Everything felt like I was going well. I definitely wasn't the fastest guy on the circuit, and also very clumsy, as you're seeing by the contact warning there. The black and white flag, just a warning saying, stop hitting people, please, Jimmy. But yeah, it was very nice to be competitive again. Back marker here, and this is a bit of a tricky one because I wanted to get by these guys quickly, so I tried to follow this guy on the inside by. He was actually side by side, the fella in the white helmet, all the way through here, but I just thought, well, no, I'm going to keep my foot in here. I'm going to just drive him wide there. He's going to try and cut back in. I managed to get by it quickly and carefully. I think now this fella in front's a bit slow on the exit. No, we've got the yellow flag now. I'm trying to remember parts of this race while watching. See there, that's a very common thing. If you see a yellow flag, just put your hand up, just say, yep, I've seen it, don't worry about it. Just an acknowledgement really, but no one really slows down if we're completely honest. So coming through Cafe Curve now, again, see that the guy in front just grabs the curb on the inside there, the rear wheel comes off the ground and just slows you down a tiny bit. So it's all about just keeping momentum through here and keeping things looking nice and tasty. Now I've got to run up the inside. I think, well, better late than never. Dive up the inside, just really drive the line, just take the line that's mine. That's what you have to do. And now of course I'm in pursuit of this fella in front, and the thing is, I was very lucky when I came up the pit lane because behind me I had a massive gap. I had probably about 6-7 seconds of free space behind me, so I don't think I looked behind me once during the entire stint. It was just completely eyes forward, go as quick as we can. Guy on the right there just hits the grate. There's a big grate on the inside there. It really hurts when you go over it. And I slowed him down a bit coming over the top, and I just got on the wet stuff there trying to overtake him, so I was a bit wide on exit, but managed to get through. And yeah, that was them dealt with. But it wasn't all me going forward in this race. You can see the guy in the red helmet there, he actually found his way past me about a lap prior, or a couple of laps prior, and was pulling away from there. But you can see now the best part of the race is that I got to race Bowser himself. There he is in front of us right now. I really love that guy's suit, really awesome to see it. And again, he was someone who I noticed that I was catching over the last few laps. He went a bit wide here at the first chicane and the first hairpin, so I thought, well, you know what, let's try to go around the outside here. It was a bit dry out here, so I managed to keep it in one piece until the exit. Slid a little bit of an exit there, but I was amazed to see that I actually managed to make the move stick, so there you go. Round the outside of Bowser. I can add that to my CV now. But now coming up towards, I think coming on to the last lap in a minute, just judging by my timeline, and I'm literally just VOing this entire video. Now watch to the inside now. I turn in a bit late here, and there is Costa, the Greek god of speed, as Steve calls him, straight by me. And if I had thought I had driven well in this race, following Costa just gave me a new level of appreciation of what speed is in karts. If you watch him now, just how quickly he pulls away from me. I mean, it was a good race for me, and I think I drove well, but that is the goal right there, to be able to just be that quick around here. So not quite there yet, but definitely a big improvement from last season. It wasn't quite it yet, despite it being the last lap. Costa lunges up the inside of this fellow in front at the hairpin. I think, oh, maybe I can get him here too. I went to try and follow him through and try and maybe follow Costa and try and get him at the line, but unfortunately the guy came back onto the line, pushed me wide onto the wet stuff, couldn't get by, and that was race over. So a pretty hectic race from my point of view. I had no idea where we finished, but yeah, check out this next bit of footage. It was pretty special.
Four.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You were catching an Aston Martin GT driver, Chris
No
Goodwin.
way!
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You were like, the photographer's got some photos of you like right behind you. You catch.
There you go.
Fourth overall.
That's how we do it, man.
First in our class and fourth overall.
Mate, I'm buzzing, man.
You were really quick. Like we finished 16 seconds off first.
Holy shit.
You lost like not that much time over that 25 minutes that you were out there.
Oh man.
But now you got to go out again.
So yeah, as you can hear from Steve, P4 overall and P1 in class in that race. I was absolutely buzzing. I had no expectations going into this race at all. So to come out winning our class, it was pretty awesome. We're seeing now some footage from the start of the second race. That's pretty much all I have of this race, but I started in about P24, P25 or so, got up to P15 by the pit stop. Steve then got in, went from P15 to P8 with an absolutely awesome drive, and most importantly put us third in class, which meant that overall we won our class over the two events. So not only did we get our first podium, we got on the top step, our best result to date, and I couldn't be happier. And the thing is, for me, people always say that Steve carries me. He does a bit. He's a lot faster than I am, I can't deny that. But the gap has never been closer, and I'm hoping that I can get closer and closer as the season heads out. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was a bit clobbered together, but it's the best I have right now in terms of footage. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit subscribe and the bell notification icon, all the good stuff. And I implore you to check out Steve's video, because it's actually been done properly and will actually probably include some good driving. Anyway, take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time.
Mate, I can't believe that. The fourth dude from fucking nothing.
We finished fourth. Yeah.